trying to connect.
Oh. All right, let me get on my side of the desk.
Yeah. Okay, there we go. Is Eric still there?
You sure, Josh? Joshy?
Yeah.
Where I set it up, I have to crawl underneath the table see if I can get where I am. All right. Hello, everybody.
What's
I like
up?
this jacket. I actually wrote an intro for this episode.
Oh yeah? Let me hear it.
Yeah, let me say it. Let me sound professional for a second. Gotta get my breath. All right. All right.
Are you
Hello,
toasted right now?
No, I'm always like that.
Okay.
I don't smoke.
Oh yeah.
I'm just kidding. I'm not putting this on my personal. I can say what the fuck I want on here. We don't have to watch our voices on this one.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna post this on our Fit Art Living.
I just don't care at all.
Yeah, because I was a little hesitant on the Locker Room podcast because my grandma and my dad were watching the shit.
Oh.
But on this one, I can say whatever I want.
Oh. I still don't care. I have like my family following me on my Instagram.
I try to be respectful sometimes.
I don't do that in the house. Like I'm in the house right now, but I'm not like shouting like cuss words everywhere.
Yeah, that's true. That's how I am, basically. All right, let me read this intro for you. This is a little bit about you. Well, hello. I'm your host, Jesse Carroll, with the Skull Space Podcast. This podcast is sponsored by food. It's always abundant, unless you're a child from Kenya. Today, I'm joined by my good friend, Josh Cortez. He's a piano prodigy, a skilled businessman, and a believer in the spiritual realm. You can catch him on his Instagram talking about a wide variety of topics ranging from business tips to improving oneself. All right, what's up, bro? What's your Instagram, by the way? You have two now, right? I'll put that in the description.
I made the one for my piano.
Yeah, it's called Lewd Piano, Lewd Piano. If you don't know how to spell piano, then don't even look it up because Josh is too smart for you.
Yeah, Lewd_piano, yeah. And then I mean my other ones, it's _Josh with 3 H's and then 2 underscores because there's like a million Joshes in the world and you have to put underscores all the time.
Oh, okay.
You know what else sucks? It kind of like takes away your originality. It's like, no, they're like
the fact that you can't use your name.
Yeah, like no,
it makes you feel unoriginal too. You're like,
yeah,
like,
there's
not only Josh.
Literally millions of people just in America alone that have your name. All right,
I am definitely not the only person.
Like you're not special.
I know.
Like,
I was trying to make my this what's it called, this training Instagram for my new business.
Mm-hmm.
And like I was trying to put it in, but like so many different people have so many different variations of my idea. Yeah. And it makes my idea feel so obsolete because I'm thinking in my head like so many people have thought of this. Like I feel so unoriginal.
I know.
Hey, but guess what? I didn't have to retype Skull Space Podcast not once. Not one person's named that.
Right.
All right, super original. So I have some questions lined up for you.
All right. Shoot.
I think you're a very interesting person, Josh. I think it'd be cool to kind of delve into your mind a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
So, if my questions seem like they're not going anywhere or they don't have direction, or you'd like to correct me and give me a better version of my own question,
I could literally create anything from anything. I'm like a alchemist.
Basically, you're God, to put it in short, right?
Well, I'm not God, but I'm part of it. Everybody's part God, I think.
Yeah, I mean, if God's real, then yeah, everyone's part God.
Or
God in the sense that you're thinking of a different God, right?
Yeah, I think that we are created. Like everything in the universe is a thought. And I think of it as like, you know, like a poet who makes like I think I talked about it before, but like a poet who makes like characters for his like plays, you know? Or,
and like they're all part of him, and he's that God of that universe, right?
Yeah. They're like, but they're not him, you know? They're just.
Yeah, they're not him, but like
they embody a character.
They're from his mind, right? So that still makes them him.
Exactly.
That's also a weird thought too. Like whatever thought you think of, that's you. Like that's a part of you.
Yeah.
Like if you thought of every thought as a baby, like there's so many different variations of a baby you can make with your mind.
Yeah.
That's such a crazy thought. Where do you come up? I've always wondered how you thought of this stuff. Like, what is it for you? Like, I know sometimes it's me. It's like in the car or something, or just
Mhm.
randomly it'll pass through my head, or if I'm smoking or something,
Right.
I'll like get like this epiphany about like some idea or some weird question to the reality or some concept, right? Like, where are you when you're thinking of stuff like that?
Well,
If
I'm
you
like
can
pretty much,
think of it.
no, I'm pretty much always thinking, but
Uh-huh.
that concept that I just talked about, that was, like I'm into reading like universal laws,
Yeah,
like kind of
I
like
like this
old,
stuff too.
yeah, like old wisdom stuff,
Yeah,
like
that shit's interesting.
ancient Egypt and shit. And there's just one book called I gave you the book, the Kabbalion.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was actually in that book
Okay.
where, yeah, I think yeah, most likely in that book where it's like, oh yeah, it talks about like, you know, like like purpose of life, existence and like
Yeah.
things like that. And it has like the seven hermetic principles and talks about that. Talks about how we like there's the all, the
Uh-huh.
highest level of manifestation, and how we're all just a thought form. All the universe is just a thought form of like the highest level of manifestation. And it makes so much sense. Like actually I have the notes right here.
Oh,
It talks
cool.
about yeah.
That's very convenient.
I know I keep this notebook everywhere.
We're professional.
Actually I wanted the parentheses. Because I'm pretty paranoid actually. I have like someone just like a bit ripping and like water spilling there or something.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, this thing's like blessed or something. I'm not, well, yeah, no, cross my fingers, but yeah, I'm so glad that this thing is intact. But yeah, it's basically like, come on, like think about it, how futile it is for like, think of a character in the story, right?
Uh-huh.
You don't see the characters in the story like shouting that they're their creator. It's like, oh, I am.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am fucking the author. I am my author. They don't.
But Christian God does.
No,
He's
it's
always
like
dropping his
it's
name in
not.
that shit.
No, no. The biggest problem with people is that, like, people are always like, I see this in social media a lot. People are like, I am God. I am the embodiment of like
Who do you follow on Instagram that people
No,
say that?
but like, because when I was doing the lucid dream page,
Yeah.
like I would go to like spiritual and like like those little hashtags, and I'll comment. I'll look after the post to see what people want, what people are posting, like the trends and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, one of them was like the spiritual one. I don't know which one it was, but it was like, oh yeah. Then you always see this post. I was like, oh yeah, I'm God. Like I am a goddess. I am a god. Like I'm capable of doing anything. Which I get what they're trying to say, but they go a little bit too far.
Yeah. I
They take
think
it.
that's a flaw a lot of people have. Absolutism. That's the right word.
Yeah,
Like
they
they
make
take an
like
absolute stance in something. I'm a
right.
victim of that, but I'm more aware of it, so I guess it's kind of like not as bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we're all guilty of being a certain trait or quality. For humans, like
Yeah.
we have it all. It just depends if you decide to act it out or not.
Yeah. What do you think separates us from normal people?
Yeah, dude, I found that as soon as I judge something,
Yeah.
like literally either immediately or like a day after, like that same, I express that same trait or I do like that action.
What do you mean express that action or trait?
Okay, like for example, not yesterday, Thursday, it's like Eric was sleeping, right?
Yeah.
You sleeping in and like, damn, he slept that long? Cause I
Yeah.
wasn't sleeping that long. And then literally like yesterday, I slept like the whole day.
But we were just talking about that. Like the people you're around affect you, like kind of affect your life.
Yeah.
Like with my brother or my John and Jarrett. Jarrett recently went to the Navy, and when he was down here, he didn't want to work out at all because they worked him out so hard in boot camp. He's like, I'm not working out. They're gonna make me work out anyway.
Right.
So then he's down here, and I'm so used to having my other cousin or brother Chucho, and he would always work out with me, and he was a homie. He'd keep me on track, and then they come down. I'm like, oh damn, they just want to party.
Right.
This is, and then I was like, I'll just kind of enjoy myself for a while, eat like crap, do what the fuck I want,
Yeah.
just play video games, drink, smoke pot, stuff like that. And now I'm like slowly, almost every time I restart something, I have to slowly get back into it. But yeah, that's what we were just talking about. So like with Eric, we were saying that like he slept in too long, and then somehow it wiggled into your brain, and you slept in the next day.
Yeah.
There's no way that's a coincidence.
No, you know what? No, and then it goes. There's two things. It's like the energy, like the people you're around, like the vibrations. You
Yeah.
know, I think everything adds, but basically, like, it's, you know, you're exposed to that certain quality, you know.
Hmm.
Like, you know, it's just exposure and the overexposure, you know, you're bound to, get some of it, like, rubbed off on you, you know?
Yeah.
I talked about this before, but yeah, you stick your hand in a pot of glue, you're bound to have stuck, some of it stuck to you, you know?
Yeah. For
That's about it.
anybody watching, if anybody watches this, can you explain vibrations fairly quickly?
Yeah. Well,
Just
well,
like
I
a
want to
quick
talk about,
example.
well, let me
Understand?
just finish this what we were talking about
Oh,
before.
okay.
Yeah, and also, as well as, talking about, oh yeah, so like, and when you judge something, like you swing, you become polarized, right?
Yeah.
And then well, the thing is, when you become polarized, you become off balance, you know? Like you have a charge, and you swing to one side of like a pendulum, think of a pendulum,
Yeah.
swing to one side, and then you're bound to swing to the other side, which is the thing you're judging the whole time, you know? You go into a pride state, and you immediately get humbled by the thing you're judging. And also think is that
Oh,
when,
yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying.
yeah, and also think a way to make it more practical is that when you use your internal resources to judge something, then you let down your defenses, you know?
Yeah.
And then combined with that, like that polarity thing, like the swinging of the pendulum,
Hmm.
that combined, and then like you do the same thing, you know? And then you're on the person. It's just like, it all combines into one, right? It's like all these little things that
Yeah.
amalgamate.
And you're saying like being around those things or judging those things or like causes the pendulum to swing, right?
Yeah. Because you
And the
become
pendulum's
charged.
swinging towards that thing.
Yeah.
Do you think
Because,
that's
hmm?
because of the wiring in our brains? Would you say? Like, do you think it's mere coincidence that it happens? Do you think it's a universally like spiritual bound to happen thing, or do you think it's like a wiring thing in our brains,
It's a little bit of both. I think, like the universal, I think like universal,
like the Trinity?
no, I'm not gonna get like too esoteric, but I
Oh,
think like universal laws, like, you know, like things that are, oh, like truth, the truest truth, right?
hmm,
Even then is like a big statement of its own. But things that stay the most consistent throughout history, like those laws, I feel like they have practical, like more scientific explanations too. Like you're saying about the wiring in the brain.
yeah,
I also think that we do have that wiring in the brain because I think that because think about it when you judge a trait in someone else, like your higher mind, like you have all human traits and qualities. So
yeah.
when you go and judge it in a quality or trait in someone else, you're basically judging that in yourself, and then you start hating yourself. You start you're basically judging yourself, you know. And then like you basically, and then that throws you off, you know, because you hate yourself, you know. You're like if you hate something, like something of hate, you know, you hate someone else, you're basically hating yourself because you have that in you as well. You just don't accept it.
That's an interesting idea. Like, let me bring this back to me getting upset with Eric about being. Let's say I got upset with Eric about sleeping in, right?
Yeah,
It's like, dude, 18. Why are you waking up at 1 p.m.? Right? Like,
yeah.
why am I getting upset about that? Like, what do I see in that? Like, cause I don't normally do that. Is it because I don't want to be like that and I hate seeing it? So like, I'm a little more afraid of it or upset about it because that's something I don't want to be like.
Mhm.
So I take it out on him. Cause
Yeah,
I feel like I do that with Eric sometimes. Cause, Eric's a bigger boy, right?
right.
So he's way more inclined to be more gluttonous, right?
Hmm.
And I probably shouldn't care that he is, but I don't know. I just gets under my nerves a little bit. It's like a pet peeve for me. Maybe, is that something I don't want to see in myself? Is like gluttony?
It's something that you don't accept, yeah, it's usually something you don't accept in yourself.
I wouldn't allow myself to have that flaw, or is it something I don't like about myself?
No, something you don't like about yourself. Because think about it, you'll do that sometimes as well. Because it's impossible for it to not to happen, right? Like when you sleep in.
Yeah, but I'm like,
Or,
I'm trying to control it, right? Like I'm actively working on not being gluttonous.
yeah,
Like like of course I'm gluttonous sometimes, right? Like I will have an extra piece of pie, or I'll eat that candy bar or something. I
right.
mean, I know I shouldn't have, but like some people do it all the time, and there's no like, there's nothing like holding them like, or what was it called? Like, it's called
I know. I see
restraint.
what you
There's
mean.
some
Like,
people don't have restraint.
right. They don't have the restraint, and you think that, and you don't do that, so you understand why you still judge it, kind of.
Yeah,
But
like,
like,
cause I'll get mad at myself sometimes about doing it a little bit, but then I'll see other people do it a lot. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
that's what bothers you. I
And
see.
that's what bothers me. You know what I
I
mean?
know, but that's the thing that
Is
you have to
that
realize
what you're getting
that
at?
you still have the potential to do that. Like, say if you something. say something really threw you off, right? Say something like a
Yeah.
big tragic event happened where it lowered your defenses, and then and then you have the potential to be more gluttonous. But now you have the willpower. But think about like sometimes think about like you were in a completely situation or you didn't have willpower, that you would have the potential to do that. And you do have the potential right now.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a scary thought for some people, because then you get into like the darker stuff. It's like, wait, I have the potential to do this. The
Hmm.
thing is, you do, like everybody has the potential to do anything. It's just human will that makes it happen, or happen or not happen,
Yeah.
whether it's present or lacking. And
I feel like us both really struggle with our objectiveness,
what do you mean?
or like it's such a burden to be. I don't want.
Yeah,
I
because you
don't want
can't
to say
escape
it.
anything.
It's so hard to escape anything. You literally can't escape. Like me looking at myself right now, I'm like looking at myself objectively, like the way I look, the way I dress, the environment I'm in, the things I do. I can't
Yeah,
help it. Like every little thing, I can't, because so many people put a filter on their face. You know what I mean? Like it's always like, oh, I don't care about these certain things, and I'm forced, or I'm like, what's it called? It's like I allow things to slip. Like I love like people who like Good Housewives. What are
yeah.
those Housewives of Atlanta and shit?
Uh,
If you were an objective person, you would immediately look at that and be like, that is the worst show ever. Like that is terrible acting. That is fairly low budget. These people get way too much attention. You know what I mean? Like you would look at that stuff, or you would just look at anything like the presidential nominees. Like you wouldn't be so like
you
lean
want to
towards
be
one
hard.
side. You
Yeah.
wouldn't be like, you talk trash about Trump, then I'll hate you.
Yeah,
You
you
know what
just
I mean?
wouldn't care, You're just
Like
like,
that,
oh
you're not being objective. If you were objective, you honestly wouldn't like any president. Like you wouldn't like either of them. You'd
yeah.
still be
Yeah,
like, no, Obama was great, but he was still kind of a dick on certain things. And I mean, Trump's terrible, but like, just certain things he does that I have to like sometimes like tip my hat to. You know what I
yeah, I
mean?
know what you mean. Like you wouldn't have a charge. You wouldn't be like super infatuated or super resentful
And
about.
I don't really like Trump at all, but I still find it that I have to like, just for myself, admit that there's some things that I might be wrong about or that I must concede.
Yeah, even then, it's like why if there was something let's say extremely wrong, like
Yeah,
why are you gonna let it affect you? Why are you giving away your power to someone, anyone? It doesn't matter who's in the top.
yeah.
The end, you create your own life, and that's the thing. A lot of people don't like to accept. It's like no, there's a lot of oh no, these institutions, these people, these higher orders, these support, and even some people even make an imaginary like higher orders, oh no, dude, there's this super secret government agency that doesn't even exist. Is literally making my life terrible. Like
Yeah, I know.
they
So
target
good.
my specific demographic and psychographic. They target just say me. They target 18-year old, like 9-month old adolescent
Like with
kid.
the vaccines and shit.
Yeah.
Like the government is actively trying to kill my children. I'm like, I don't think they are.
And I was like, why would
Why
they?
would they? Why would they?
Like we don't even have to worry about if they're going to do that anywhere, they'll do it in places
But
that are
actually,
actually
think about it.
overpopulated. You know.
Their reasoning behind it actually makes their theories make sense. You know what I mean? Like the
I mean,
people who
yeah,
are really crazy and they build like these like new world orders in their head, or
yeah,
like it's crazy. It's like they'll develop the idea of what they're doing, right? And they'll think of a perfect like reason why that person would do that to him. It almost seems bulletproof. You know what I mean? You know it's lunacy. You know it's not true. There's no facts about it. But it's just the way that they contrived this
yeah.
idea.
Like construct. I know people. That's what people are really good at.
It's so
That's
crazy.
I know, but that's what humans are so good. The humans are like really great at that, making their opinions and theories
Yeah.
just sound incredibly non-refutable.
Yeah, like think
We can
about
make anything true. I could say anything, and then I can make it reasonable, somewhat reasonable.
think about the moon landing, right? A lot
Yeah,
of people think that's fake, so it's a hoax. And their understanding behind it was, oh, we don't have the technology, and it would have been way cheaper to fake it and everything, right?
yeah,
And just send some rocket out into space that just went nowhere. And it makes sense because oh wait, a lot of people would go, oh, it was in the 1960s.
right.
We just made an iPhone. We haven't gone to the moon back to the moon since then. Like there's all these things. And like you have a good idea. Like you're kind of right, but you're absolutely wrong at the same time. We did go to the moon.
Yeah.
We send satellites to space all the time. And you know what? We don't even break a sweat anymore when we do it. We just
I
send a
know.
satellite. Hey, send that satellite up there. Just
A
send it.
Musk, right? Like not Musk. He's like, oh yeah,
Just put it up there.
I'm
No
gonna send,
problem.
I'm gonna send a freaking some shit into space, and I'm gonna bring the rocket back, and make it land exactly.
Yeah,
in the,
we can actually bring back rockets now. We can reuse spaceships. Like they can land and shit. That's real. That's a real thing.
Yeah.
Like they go into space and then they land. How
Yeah.
crazy is that?
Yeah.
When people went to the moon, they had to jump in the water. Okay, they were like water potted.
Yeah, they had a good chance of dying.
Yeah, like their chance of dying was like, think about being the first astronaut on that thing. They're like, we're gonna go to the moon. It's like, wow, this has never been tested before. No, it hasn't.
I know it's basically like trying to like go across the country, like go like think of like Europe, right? Like
Yeah.
think of like the country Europe and like Russia and China. It's like basically trying to like go all the way from like Russia to like the bottom of Africa, right?
Yeah.
And like a horse carriage, you know,
Or no, it's more like trying to
in
go
the
from Europe to
thunderstorm,
Africa.
in a thunderstorm through like a hurricane.
Yeah, like their chance of
one go.
survival was honestly very small because we kind of rushed the program, like
Well, yeah,
because we were trying to beat the Russians, so we're like scrambling to get it because we didn't. People don't realize, but like we didn't go to the moon out of like this love for science. We were just like, we love science. When we gravely went to the moon, we were just like, Russia cannot go to the moon.
Yeah.
It's a bad idea. So we were like, let's get all the Germans.
It's funny because Russia had like most of the space progress.
I know, they did almost everything, and then America was like, dunk, like right at the end.
Yeah, we landed on the moon, fuckers.
Have you played Fortnite recently?
No, I totally wasn't at your house like yesterday.
Oh, did you play Playground? Oh, never mind. Well, there's this mode on Fortnite, right, called Playground, and you can die 20 times. But if you get a kill at the very last second, you win the game technically.
Oh, yeah?
Like it says Victory Royale. So basically, imagine Russia was just collecting 20 kills in this entire game, right?
Yeah.
And right at the very end, we just like dunked with the moon and won the game.
Yeah.
Like right at the end, we're like, psych, and we just got one kill and we won the whole game.
And we took all the credit. Like,
I know, we let them go through all those accomplishments, like all those probes in space, like everything, all this technologies, research. And we're just like, we just want to be first because communism sucks.
Yeah.
When
Well,
honestly,
in the public we won, but like if you actually go to like the space station museums, like I've been on like the space museums and like like you see like everything's filled with like Russia's like all their achievements.
I know, because you have to go through like all these pictures first of the timeline, and like it takes a real long time to get to America. It's just like Russia, 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 America.
Yeah.
Hey, guess what? The guy that wants to send us all to Mars is still not even American. It's fucking. I'm gonna be surprised at some last second. It was like some American dude who sent everyone to Mars.
Right.
Just because, like, he just stole Elon Musk's idea and just had a little more money. Like, that's basically what America did. We just had a little more money than Russia.
Yeah.
They're like, we're selling all that steel, so we can go to the moon instead of you.
Yeah.
What is Elon Musk? What is he like?
He's South African.
South African, yeah.
Yeah.
He's not even American.
Oh, I know. I was gonna talk about that. I was like, South Africans are kind of weird. When you think about it.
Weird. But I love
like,
them because my
like,
favorite band's from South Africa.
Really?
It's either.
Huh. Cool.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, like they're in this like predominantly like black African American like country, like African American like demographic, right? And then there's like these like white guys that live like all the way in the south, you know?
I know. I've never understood that. I never understood why there's white people in Africa. Because you know there was a big apartheid problem in South Africa for a long time.
A what?
Apartheid. You know what that is?
Yeah.
There's a big apartheid problem in Africa.
Yeah, and
Africa. In Africa, there was a big apartheid problem. White people are dicks, dude. We couldn't just we had apartheid in America. We're like, hey, whites and blacks stay away from each other, right?
Yeah.
And then even in Africa, they had the same exact problem. Like, man, we are dicks. Like, America needs to calm down.
No, I mean, but Africa's kind of they've been like that. Like the tribes, the different tribes, they hate each other. Like they've been at war for a while. So it wasn't. They had their own part in that too.
I never understood why like like Africa and a lot of like Haitian countries and a lot of tribal people were so far behind like Europeans. Like when
we screwed them over.
Yeah, like when Christopher Columbus met like the Indians, he was basically an alien visiting Earth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like imagine aliens visiting us now with all their technology was basically Christopher Columbus meeting the Native Americans.
Right.
Like he just out like classed them in every form because of like intelligence and technology. Like that's
Right.
so crazy. Like why were they so primitive? Is it just their beliefs that led them to that point of existence? You know?
I mean, I always see balance. So I think they were more like internally advanced.
Yeah,
Like
they
yeah,
were definitely more at peace with the body than
yeah, and
Christians.
the world on Earth too. Like they knew about like probably like medicinal like
I think they
remedies.
just chose the wrong field to study. Like, I think at the beginning of all time, the Europeans were like, well, no, we'll have the technology and the war. And then the Indians are like, we'll have the earth and the animals.
I know they're. I mean,
Win a war with that, bitch.
and they're like super peaceful too. And then
I know, they're
like
so nice. I mean, some of them were aggressive, but,
right,
like, when they killed each other, they believed that was honorable. You know what I mean? So it
yeah,
wasn't like they were just slaughtering each other and it was like this
they were just like
violent
considering
act.
universal
Like, that's
law.
who they were. Like, leave them alone. Like, they found peace in, like, dying. Like, it was such an honor to die in war, in battle.
Right.
Like, you didn't, like, people didn't even cry. Like, in Europe, when your son dies or something, they're like, oh no, it's the end, it's over. Because they don't really believe in God. Like, why would you cry if you believed in God? I don't get it. Like, you know what I mean? But the Indians don't even believe in God. They believe in something that still is kind of around today I think makes way more sense than Christianity on paper. Like, you return back to, like, this realm of existence that we all started from, and then it gets recycled, you know? Well, like, what if there was only a limited amount of essence in the universe,
Yeah.
and it gets recycled?
Oh, I guess recycled. What do you mean?
I mean, you know what? That doesn't actually no religion makes sense now. Now that I think about it, because the universe is so big, why would it? Because every religion is very small-minded. You know what I mean? Like, because they think that there's like their
I
God is just for them.
I see what you mean. It's like there is no definitive answer. I
Yeah,
like whenever I get asked, it's like, oh yeah, what do you think? Like, I mean, I texted you this. Like I sent a text. Like, what the answer to life is? Like, there's no definitive answer. We try to put. It's like we don't. Our monkey brain, our tiny monkey brains, can't understand like all the like. Think about it, we didn't even know what like that there was stuff in the air. Like we could actually do like electricity, right?
yeah, like molecules and everything. Like, there's air molecules right
Yeah.
in front of me right now. I can't
We had
breathe.
no idea that existed for like thousands, like tens of thousands of millennia, right? And like
Yeah,
you expect us to comprehend like a universal answer,
yeah.
It's
You think 2,000 years ago, when they didn't even know about germs, right? They
and
created
then
a
they thought,
religion so powerful and like eye-opening that it works now. Like, that's how confident we are in 2,000-year-old information. Like,
uh,
damn, you are confident, my dude. Like, that's 2,000 years old. What if I told you to go to a doctor who was trained by the ancient arts of somebody 2,000 years ago? Would you go to him? No, you wouldn't.
I know, so you had to get I mean, how there's like LASIK eye surgery.
Yeah.
They had that for like thousands of years. They had that for a while.
LASIK?
Like
Laser eye surgery?
not laser eye surgery, but like trying to like fix the eyes,
Yeah.
like remove the lens and then like put a new one or something.
Uh-huh.
All they did before was remove the lens. They didn't have like a new lens to put in.
Yeah.
So like before they used to like just get a pick and just like
Fucking A.
on your eye, and it's funny like most of the time it did not work. Like they just screw up your eye.
Yeah, I would imagine it didn't. I actually, it's honestly, I'm just surprised that you said it almost never worked. Like, did it ever work? How
Yeah,
did that ever work?
well, it worked when they didn't get like their eye poked out.
Oh, so you
And
just had to get a steady doctor.
I
You're
know,
like, Doc,
but
you don't drink, right? Or have PTSD, please? We don't even know what that is yet.
you know,
I didn't even know what PTSD was. And we're gonna use their framework for a religion. And we say Scientology's crazy. You know what? Scientology's probably better than Christianity because it's more.
I think it's the same thing. I think
I know it's the same thing, but I'm saying, like, as far as like, you want like the most recent version of a belief, then go to Scientology. Or
yeah.
like, if you really need something that bad, because like there's nothing in Scientology that says kill people. Like, Scientologists don't hate gay people. As far as I know. You know what someone told me one time, off topic?
Mm-hmm.
This person, I'm not going to say her name, but she was like, cause she knows I'm an atheist, right? So
Mm-hmm.
we're sitting there, and she's like, Jess, you like science and stuff, why don't you become a Scientologist? And I looked over like, are you fucking retarded? What did you just say to me?
What is Scientology? What is that anyways? Like, what
It's
is
like
that?
so weird. Honestly, you have to watch this Family Guy episode where they make fun of Scientology, but actually show what Scientology really is.
Yeah.
Because the thing about Scientology, the only way to find out about Scientology
It's
is
to
if you
be
get to
about.
like a certain level. Because there's like video game levels in Scientology. Like you have to have, basically you have to ask Tom Cruise what Scientology is. Hey Tom Cruise, what's Scientology?
Yeah, 'cause I remember Jasmine talking about it, and she was like, "Yeah, this thing is dumb."
It's done. Basically, it's a way for celebrities to get tax exempted for charitable donations
That's fucking
when they
funny.
hate Catholics. Imagine, I think Tom Cruise got raped by like a priest, and he was like, "Fuck them, I want to be a Scientologist." That's why he's so short. The trauma stunted his growth. That's why he became a 5'8" actor. He's actually not short at all. How tall is Tom Cruise? 5'10"?
I have no idea. He's pretty short, isn't
He's not that short.
he? No, he's short. I remember.
Yeah, but like when you say short, like people don't realize like 6 feet tall is not normal height.
No, he's 5'7".
He's 5. Did you look it up right now?
Yeah, I knew he was short because
Yeah, I know he's that short.
I think his wife is like tall, no, or something like that. Like, and because when you see him like next to like females that are actually kind of tall,
Yeah.
and he's like super short. But in the movies, it's funny because
It's weird in the movies the way they angle him.
yeah,
And, like take his video. Like he looks like a very average sized man. You know what I mean?
I know
Like,
that's
he
what.
looks intimidating. But if I met Tom Cruise in person, I'd be like, wow, I could beat the shit out of you, Tom. I could probably literally beat the shit out of you, Tom Cruise.
I know
You
because
are
I don't know why I remember
5
reading a
inches
book or
shorter.
something, and it was like like Tom Cruise was like so short that we had to like put the camera angle like a little bit lower, so he looks taller.
Hey, but you know what? You gotta give it to Tom Cruise. What are the odds you make it in Hollywood being that tall? That's gotta be hard. Making directors work with you to like make you look better on screen.
Yeah.
But I guess he had like that charisma and stuff.
Yeah. Honestly, I would hire like people who are like run those Instagram accounts who are short, like to like run like Hollywood like camera direction, you know?
Honestly, there's a lot of short people in Hollywood because only people who are short have like the little man syndrome determination to be that successful. You know?
Yeah.
Because when you're my height, it's not that hard to get along with society and shit. No one really teases you. No one's like, oh, you're short. So everyone kept calling Tom Cruise short, and he just like, I'm going to show you up. I'm going to show you up, right? But me, I'm like, oh, just you should join a sport, man. You're great. You're lengthy. Girls love that. Tom Cruise had to work for that shit. I need Tom Cruise.
Yeah, I saw a video about that, about certain aspects about a person that just makes them like super like easygoing in like in a culture or society, like in America especially. Yeah, it was about boys and about like what expected about boys. And yeah, one of them is like athleticism, which basically ties into like your height.
Yeah.
Like if you're taller, like people are just like, oh, cool.
Basically me. Yeah. Like, I got picked for every sport. Everyone's like, hey, Jesse, do dodgeball, do volleyball, be the captain of the baseball on the baseball team. Like, I was tall enough to be the pitcher, the first baseman, like all the good positions I was tall enough for. You know what I mean? But Tom Cruise is like, you gotta be in the outfield, Tom. I'm sorry. You're too short, dude.
Then Tom, just sit down.
Tom, sit down. You can't even jump for the ball. You're too fucking short. Fucking midget. 5'8's the national average, so he's not that short.
I'm not that tall either, so I don't know.
But Henry Cavill's like 6'1" or 6'2", so I'm sure they had to figure that shit out.
Well, I know. Why did I see him right next to when I searched Tom Cruise? Is he like the same thing or something?
Yeah, like they almost look the same height in Fallout. Like Tom Cruise and Henry Cavill, but Henry Cavill like towers over Tom Cruise in real life. And you know what? I've never seen a picture of Tom Cruise standing next to someone tall.
Yeah, because he doesn't.
Have you ever seen him ever stand next to someone tall? Ever? I don't think I ever, like, him next to a basketball player, any athlete, a tall movie. Like, he doesn't take pictures with people taller than him, I don't think.
Yeah, that's what.
Like, I've never seen a girlfriend in a movie be taller than him. Like, they're always shorter. If I was him, I would pull, like, the Kevin Hart thing. Because, like, Kevin Hart's last 2 movies, his wife has been, like, literally a legal midget.
Really?
Like, she's been so short. Like, she just looks really tiny. I'm like, it's the only thing that makes him look normal.
Yeah.
Because it was that, what was that CIA movie he did? His wife was literally a midget, and then the movie before that, his wife was literally a midget. I think he wanted to stop after he seen Right Along One, and he seen how tall his wife is compared to him.
I don't remember like any of that. Like,
His movies suck. I don't expect you to know or watch any of those movies. I wouldn't recommend them.
yeah, I don't. I just
But
don't. Well,
we went 35 minutes, and I didn't ask you one question on this paper. That's impressive.
yeah, I mean, we'll talk about anything.
Yeah, honestly. I had these trolley problems I wanted to go over you. There's like philosophical questions.
Oh, yeah, we kind of talked about that last time.
What, the trolley problem?
Yeah. Well, you go again just to make sure it's like not like a different one.
Let me just read it. You tell me. Okay, there's a trolley coming down the tracks, and ahead there are 5 people tied to the tracks and are unable to move. The trolley will continue coming and will kill the 5 people. There's nothing you can do to rescue the 5 people except that there is a lever. If you pull the lever, the train will be directed to another track, which has 1 person tied to it. You have 2 choices. Do nothing, and the 5 people will die. Or pull the lever and save the 5 people, but that 1 person will die.
Yeah.
What would you do?
Okay. I mean, like honestly, I don't comment on these things. Yeah, I'll just say the 5 guys.
Yeah, like, why wouldn't you? Like, if you didn't pull it, you'd just be a dick.
It's because I'm more of a like statistics guy.
Yeah, you know, like, oh, 5 minus 1 is 4, so 4 more people to save.
Like I have probability like I know I already have like formulas in my head. It's like, oh well, if it saves this more, it's like one of those. See, this is the thing like about moral problems. I'm more like a robot when it comes to these things.
Yeah.
I think about it, if like there would be like so much more progress if a robot did things.
Yeah,
Because
honestly, because there would be more dilemmas, or like, you wouldn't be like, oh, I don't want to work that hard today. I'm kind of tired. I worked too hard. I partied last weekend. Or robots aren't going to be unenthusiastic about work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they're not, one day they're going to come building a building, like, man, I'm tired, I'm sore. They're like, they'll do it, same pace, every day, day in, day out.
Yeah. The thing is, I'm talking more about like when it comes to like. Okay, so I was thinking about like, because I was watching this like this. I don't know what I was watching. It was about technology and AI.
Yeah.
I was watching about robots in the medical field, and how when you do surgeries, there's always like a probability, right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, yeah, there's like a 30% chance or 40%, or like, they give it percentages.
But robots would.
Yeah. No, that they always have the percentages. Like, they know the percentages.
Yeah.
No more human doctors, but like, sometimes they don't carry out a surgery because like, say it's like 75%, right? Where statistically, you're better off doing it than not doing it, the surgery.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes the doctors, they basically pussy out.
Yeah.
And they don't want to do it because they're too scared. That's understandable, right? It's a person's
Yeah.
life.
But a robot wouldn't.
Yeah, but a robot would just take the chance
And
because
if someone asked for it, like, well, okay, well, I really want it done. They're like, all right, well, let a robot do it then.
yeah, like if the person chooses to do it, the robot would just do it no matter what. Even if it wouldn't think it's too risky, it would be like, oh yeah, 75% chance.
And you wouldn't bring that into the surgery room either. Like, the robot wouldn't be thinking, oh, what if he dies on me? This is really dangerous. The robot just does what it's told.
Right.
That's the difference between a human and a robot. Humans think that there's some grandiose, great thing that is so great that they can experience life. But we're great at experiencing life, but we're terrible at taking or committing action.
Yeah,
like we're very inefficient when we set a mission.
Well, yeah, it depends. I mean, we have a lot of inhibitions as a whole.
Well, think about this. Imagine you set up a goal to run for a month straight every day, right?
Yeah.
So the first week you're running great, and then you start to slow down, and you have your pivots and your hills, and there's some days you're tired, some days you feel great, but you run every day, and you still complete the goal. Now put a robot in that place, right? That robot will run every day, and he will not be sore, he will not hurt, he will not slow down, he will not stop, he will complete his goal in the most efficient and straight-lined way, right?
Yeah.
So imagine, like, the mission. Can you see me on screen?
Oh, I don't even. Let me check right now. Because like technically we're not in the car right now, but I can still hear you. I'm not expecting it.
That's weird.
I'm calling you again to see if it show up. Oh yeah, there we go. Sideways, by the way. Uh, okay. So like that. Oh, this is like, how do I do this? This is like the most awkward thing ever. You know, I'm just gonna leave it right here. You can like flip me over or something. Because I have a laptop and I can't put it the other way. Maybe I can. I'll do this. I'll just look at that. We should have done this before. Let's- Yep. Well, yeah. Because I don't have school Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. I'm still going to school. I'm taking mostly music classes. It's like yeah, just piano classes and a music theory, and then taking psychology like on the side as my core class. I'm gonna do that one core class and then mostly music classes. Because you know, why am I going to college if I'm gonna hate it? You know, taking like three core classes and not taking what I want to do. You know, yeah. Every everybody says to like take your core classes now and then do everything later. I was like, why would I hate my life for 2 years to do something I want when I could just do it right now? Yeah, basically. Because you know, that's what everybody else gets told to do. But I don't listen to people unless it makes sense. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Well, when I say I don't listen to people, I mean I don't listen when it doesn't make sense. Like when I always weigh the options, right? I'm like, does this make sense? Like I do it pretty quickly now. I'm like, it doesn't make sense. I do it like super quick. I do my fucking my calculations basically, and then if it doesn't make sense, I'm just like, oh, I'll just screw it. I'm very good at just saying screw it, or like F it, you know. Just like, oh yeah, I just don't. That didn't mean no sense. I'm not gonna have that. All right. I think I still hear you.
Do you?
Yeah.
Did you ever not stop hearing me?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't even know how we're in the call right now because we're not actually calling.
Well, we're calling
Well,
on
I think
my
we're in
phone.
the normal voice call, but not the video call.
Just press the video button on your thing.
We're gonna call you again.
No, just press the video button.
Oh, man. You having a hard time there, Jesse? Mm. Hmm. Yeah. So you don't know if you're recording or not right now? Hmm. Yeah. I think it's just the video call, not the voice. I don't even know what we're talking about right now. Honestly, I'm just lost. Are you gonna get this out in like the video of whatever we're doing? Are you gonna post this on somewhere? Or okay? Are you gonna edit this part out? Because it's like Oh, because I'm like, oh, I feel like kind of pressure. I'm like, do I say something or what do I do here? No. All right, dude. I'm reading this book called well, not reading. I mean, listening to it because it was cheaper to buy the Audible. And hello, you still there? Yeah, I didn't know.
Alright, we'll just finish it like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was annoying. Not doing this shit no more.
All right.
So I know for sure it's recording right now.
Oh, so you just wanted to voice it?
Yeah, we'll just finish off with voice. So
Oh.
I wanted to do it just voice anyway,
Okay.
originally, for my podcast.
Yeah.
At least until we get better, like, equipment and shit.
Yeah. I'm gonna get a camera soon.
Oh, really? Because y'all know
Like,
you're gonna start a YouTube channel too. For,
yeah.
piano and shit.
Yeah. So I have to get the recording equipment. Like,
How do
so
you practice that? Are you like, what do you do? How do you practice?
the piano?
Yeah. Because you don't get lessons or anything. You just learn on your own.
I don't know. It's just one of those things you just do, kind of. I mean, it's the fundamentals are pretty like straightforward. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
you do that. You press these keys at these intervals. Then you literally do that for every key and the scales for that key. It's like you only need the fundamentals, like the scale, arpeggio, chromatic scale, which is basically like just going like through all the keys. And the scale is like it's like it's a sequence basically. Everything's a sequence.
Yeah.
All you do is do that sequence, and then you get a little bit faster, and that's it. You just keep getting faster at that sequence to the point where it becomes like you just do it like at lightning speeds, like very fluid, and then yeah, that's basically it though. Just do a
Yeah, I
sequence
was, I
over
was
and
saying
over.
that because I tried to learn the guitar, and I'm just sitting here like, this is ridiculous. How do people do this without an instructor? And you're here over here learning one of the hardest musical instruments to master.
Yeah,
Piano
I
has
don't,
so many keys.
yeah. I
Like
mean,
how,
there's basically,
like,
but they're the same keys just over and over again. It's like it's only 12 keys.
what has more musical combinations, a piano or a guitar?
Like, guitar is pretty in depth too, to be honest.
Because now that I think about it, there's so many different places to place your finger on a guitar.
Yeah, there's a 20, like 100, I think. Well, on a normal guitar, it's like 100.
Yeah, hard place to put your fingers.
Yeah.
Like that's a lot.
And you can also, yeah, there's a lot of things.
And then you can strum different strings too. So
Yeah,
that's
there's
like
different techniques
millions
too.
of
They're
combinations.
pretty, you know, I thought about this
But I
before
would
too.
definitely say it's a little more straightforward though.
A guitar, you could make it sound really good, like pretty quick, but
Without being that good.
to master it takes forever. Like, well,
Yeah.
and you need, the thing I was talking about guitar too is you actually need big hands.
Yeah, it
That's
does.
why,
I don't have big hands. I got bitch hands.
yeah, that's why I went to piano. Like,
I know.
oh, oh,
Have your hands gotten bigger since you've been playing piano? Like, do you
no, they
stretch
don't
them out
get
a little bit?
bigger.
Like, did you
They don't
stretch
get
them
bigger.
out a little bit? I wish you would have took measurements, because I swear your hands probably stretch out a little bit. Or just
No,
constantly having to reach over with your pinky on certain, like, you probably have a longer pinky now.
no, I don't think so.
I think legally you have a longer pinky. I would
No,
say.
well, become more flexible and you know how to like make it seem like you have a big hand.
Oh,
It's
really?
all about flexibility.
And anonymity. It's all about anonymity. Hey, I
No,
want to read you this other
yeah.
dilemma. I put down 3. This one seems kind of interesting. If it's stupid, just say so. I don't want to waste my time on this.
I'll just answer. It doesn't matter.
All right. You, your baby, and your entire townspeople are being chased by this band of bad people who will kill you all if they find out. They find you. All of you decide to hide in a secret place and are silently waiting for the bad guys to move away. However, you know that your baby will cough and the band will hear them. Then they will find you, your baby, and the townspeople and kill all of you. So kill your baby, save yourself and the entire town, or let your baby cough, get yourself, your baby, and the entire town killed.
Why is it cough? Like why is it like
I
the
don't know why
most
they
like
say cough. Like why?
It's
I
the
think a baby
minute.
is way more likely to cry, right?
Yeah, right.
Like, it doesn't say he has the flu. Like,
Like
what's
most
going
likely
on?
to shit and vomit himself.
I would put
Cry.
way more money that this baby will cry before this. I mean, you know what? I've never heard a baby cough. You ever heard a baby cough before?
A little bit, yeah, but like
Really? Or what
cry
do
way
they do?
more. I hear
I
him
don't
cry
think they
way
have the
more.
vocal strength to cough.
Oh, they
Yeah,
cough.
but would you kill your baby?
I'm around a lot of like kids, so I know they cough a lot. So go ahead.
Basically, there's a bunch of people trying to kill you, so you take your baby, you, and a bunch of townspeople into a cave, and you're hiding, and if the baby makes a noise, everyone's dead. So do you kill the baby, or do you let everyone die?
Okay, so
You gotta really think about this one.
no,
Would you
I'm not
kill
gonna
your
be.
own baby?
I know I'm not gonna be like the. Well, I was gonna give like the smartest answer, but
You're gonna give me the Eric answer?
I'm gonna give you like the yes or no answer.
Alright.
Well, okay, so I'll just stick like a piece of cloth in the baby's mouth, so he would shut up. But if it was a choice to do it or not,
And then you have to make a choice, yeah. You have to pick one of the two choices.
I feel like,
But that would have been a great idea.
yeah, I know it was one of those like. The thing about these is like there's always another choice. It's just a bit. Oh my god.
Because in these dilemmas, they always give you like the emotional and the statistical one. Like the emotional one is, will you kill your baby, or would you be smart and save a bunch of lives?
Right.
So, would you be a hero and save everybody and take your baby's life, or would you take a chance with your baby crying?
Dude, I don't think anybody would have let me kill the baby. That's the thing. So I was like, this is the thing. Like, I think this is like the problems with the moral dilemmas. It's never that simple, you know?
Yeah, you have to include imagine you're in a big old cave, right, and everyone's standing around, and you're holding your baby in your hands, and you look at everybody and says,
Well, like, oh yeah, guys, I'm just gonna kill this baby.
you know, you gotta whisper it.
Gonna kill
I'm
this
gonna kill
baby.
this baby. Okay, I'm gonna save us all. And somebody's like, "What the fuck are you doing?
Are you okay? Like, what the fuck?
Are you okay? You're not gonna kill that baby." And we're like, "The baby's gonna." But you also have to think some asshole is gonna be like, "Kill the baby."
Right.
I'm gonna be in the background shouting, "Kill that fucking baby!" I want to live. I have Pilates tomorrow.
I know. The thing is, like, the situation wouldn't even happen anyways because you would have just shut the baby up, you know?
Yeah, no.
Or you would just give him like some like, yeah, you would just shut him up. You'd just be like, hey,
And what are the odds? Like, I pull a mist. You ever seen The Mist?
the mist.
Well, there's this, you probably have it. I watched it like this movie reel clip on Instagram, and this dude right this movie and like there's this mist and you really can't see and there's all these monsters killing everybody, right?
Yeah.
So there's this dude in his truck with his family, and he's sitting there and he has a revolver, and it's like his daughter, his grandfather, and his wife, I think, right?
Yeah.
And he kills them all.
Okay.
And right before he kills himself, right, the army rolls in and they're saving everybody. So he kills his family for no reason, right? So I'm thinking, I'm going to be the one guy who, like, tries to be heroic and kill his baby. You know, I'm just going to be that dick on the news, like, guy kills his baby when bandits are arrested right before bandits are arrested by cops. I'm like, fuck.
Florida. The man in Florida.
Florida is definitely a Florida news thing. Man kills baby to try to save everyone's life, only to find out the cops immediately come in and is being charged for baby murder.
Jeez.
Because I'm too much of an optimist. Like, I wouldn't be able to, like...
Why did the guy kill his own family, though? I don't get that.
Well, because, like, the
The
monsters...
mist turns them into monsters or something?
No, it doesn't turn them into monsters, like, but there's these giant monsters killing everybody, like, dragging them and brutally murdering them.
Yeah.
So he thought he was doing them a mercy kill, right?
Oh.
Because their truck broke down in, like, the middle of the fog, and he knew, like, they were fucked. Right?
Would you do that? I would not do that.
But I don't think I could do that. I'd just be like, dude, we're all gonna die together brutally.
Guys, we're gonna die.
I don't have the heart. And you know what? Even if someone offered, like, if I was in that car, and my dad was like, alright, I'll kill you for you if you want. I'm like, you know what? I'll take my chances with the monster.
Right.
Fuck it. You know what I mean? Like, I want to go out with a kick. I don't want to be a pussy. That is kind of a pussy way to go out. Like, hey dad, how about you all kill yourselves and leave me one bullet and I'll take my chances.
Yeah, it's like, well, no, like, you just have to shoot the monster.
Well, actually, don't even kill, I don't know why I said that. Don't kill yourself, dad. Like, don't kill the family. How about we all try to just survive together? Because first off, you're in a truck, right? So, like, it's not like they just grab you. Because there's, like, these tentacle monsters and all this shit. You know, I almost want to watch the movie now. Like, you know what? That's a better moral dilemma, to be honest.
Watching the movie?
No, that the situation I built up. Like, imagine you're in a mist and there's all these monsters that can brutally murder your family. Do you want one, mercy kill your whole family, or two, leave them to face the horrors?
Well, that's like not even a question. It's like, why would I just kill my family?
Yeah, but then they're all gonna be brutally. Like, would you have the heart to save them from that suffering?
I mean, they'll die anyways, so it wouldn't even matter. I mean, I would think like,
But the way they died. Imagine it's like your little girl there, like you love her so much, you raised her, you didn't want any harm to come about her, and she has a chance of being ripped apart by like this tentacle monster.
okay, well, I need more details of this. How long does it take them to die? Tentacle monsters would be
I'm not gonna say like it's this long, drawn out torture thing, but it takes like a minute.
I mean, it just wouldn't matter in the end, you know? It's just like, yeah, in this life, they would care, like, oh my god, yeah, my legs turned apart. But like, after that, they're just dead. And the end, just
Yeah, but it hurts a shit ton at that moment.
I know, but our bodies actually have like a defense mechanism that when it faces extreme pain, it just like, it basically kills itself, kind of.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Chemicals.
But,
and then they just, don't even like, notice it, kind of. Like, you just
it's
die.
still a shitty way. Like, would you rather me shoot you or I throw you in a pit of monsters and get torn to pieces?
Well, if it's just me, then I'll just, okay, in that situation, I'll just, I mean, if I die, I'll just die. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but then what's the difference between that and you and your little girl?
I know, but it's like, there's chances in that miss, you know? I'm in a truck. Dude, I don't, alright, next question. So this one, yeah.
This is a toughie. Alright, the next one's called the prisoner's dilemma. You are a member of a gang. You have been arrested with another member of your gang. Both of you are confined away from each other, and you have no way of communicating with the other member. The police do not have enough evidence to convict both of you with major charges, and instead offer you and the other member a bargain. You have two choices. You can remain silent, or betray the other member and testify that he has committed the crime.
I ain't no snitch, fool. I ain't no snitch.
So either you both go to jail, or you testify to get off.
Oh, I see. This is the one where like he could do the same thing too, right? So you don't know.
Yeah, he could easily do the thing to you.
Oh yeah, that's
like how much trust do you have in your partner?
What I seen like a video on this is like why.
The weird dilemma about this is, what if the other guy bargains too? Who did he pick?
Wait, what do you mean?
Like, did he talk to him at the same time? Do you get to go first? Like, it doesn't say if you go first or not. Like, have they talked to your friend yet, and then talked to you?
Right.
And if they still think about this, imagine they interview your friend first, and then they interview you, and they gave you the bargain, right? Mm. So then in your head, you can automatically assume that he didn't snitch on you. So then that's when you stay quiet, right? Or he goes first, and he snitches on you, and it doesn't matter. Right. Or you both get a bargain, and they have to flip a coin to see who they take. Like, who's shittier of the two. So honestly, in this dilemma is kind of stupid.
No, there's the same one with like money. It's like you could either there's like this one for money. It's like so there's like a pile of money there, right?
Yeah.
But you're like, I forgot what it was, but it's basically the same thing. Like if someone else could take the money, if you don't take it,
or you take it or do you leave it?
Yeah, it's kind of one of that thing.
I think we're missing the overall idea of the question. You know what I mean? Like, it's not about the plot holes in the framing of the story. It's about the idea that the story presents. Like, what is honor? Why do you need honor in this life? Like, why should I stay quiet and go to jail? Like, why should I go to jail? Because there's some idea that has been passed down for generations to always honor your friend. You know what I mean? Like, why do I owe my friend 10 years of my life? You know what I mean? Like, if that was you and me, right? What do I owe you?
I don't think it's a question about worth. Well, that kind of is.
Yeah,
I believe in like I don't believe in it, but kind of the concept of alchemy.
Yeah.
How everything has a price. So like the price of you like turning in your friend is not maybe you don't go to jail, but you would have that guilt. You have like extreme guilt, you know, because you just like screw someone up for life basically, or like
You do screw them up for life, but like they're criminal. Like, why do you deserve to go to jail more than your friend does?
see, well, I don't know. I kind of went a different way with this.
But do you
I went
know
the
what I
route
mean?
like I went the route like, oh yeah, but if I was to throw him in jail, I would still like suffer like some consequences, you know.
Yeah, but
Like, I'll have
you're thinking too much like a monkey. It's your problem. Oh, I locked another monkey in prison. No, I'm going to die in 60 years, and no one will ever remember the situation ever again.
And if I were to go, then I'd be in jail. So it's like,
Yeah, then you'll have to waste 10 years of your life. Like, why do you believe you have to be some sacrificial Jesus for this man? Like, why do you have to sacrifice your 10 years of your life? Let's say the sentence is 10 years. Why do you have to sacrifice 10 years of your life for this man?
and the thing is like, if I lock him up, like he would hunt me down. Like I'd have to go witness protection, you know.
Say it was a lifetime sentence. Imagine he got a lifetime sentence for that.
Oh yeah. So then that's another question of like guilt and stuff.
That even makes it even more.
Yeah.
I'm trying to take out this whole like revenge thing, you know, or like ideas of guilt. Like you'll never have to see. Let's say you rat him out, you never have to see this man again.
Yeah.
Like you testify in court, and that's the last time you see him.
Yeah. Okay. The thing is, I'm going in with like my knowledge. But the thing is, I don't know what would happen. Like I'm putting like having like extreme empathy right now. I think that's the right word. Well, basically,
Yeah,
I'm putting myself in his shoes. I'm like, wait, okay. So if I was in this situation, right?
Yeah.
And like, let's say I didn't have my knowledge now, didn't have like my insight or any like wisdom or anything.
Yeah.
Because like if I was in a situation now, I would actually turn him in because I would get over the guilt pretty quickly because I know I have processes to get over guilt. Like I know exactly what to do to get over stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm like, oh yeah, I'll just turn him in because of what I know now. But if I didn't know what I know now, I would probably just go like take the sentence. Wait, no, doesn't make sense. I don't know. That's a
For
hard
me,
one.
it's like I would turn him in because even if I did feel guilty, you know what's worse than guilt?
You're
Being fucking raped in prison. That is way worse than guilt. Okay, I could eat a tub of ice cream and get over the fact that my friend has a shitty life. All right, not having a dick on my ass is amazing. Like that, I think that's one of the greatest miracles of life.
Have you ever experienced like extreme guilt? You have to go like specific.
Yeah, I think honestly, yeah, I have. You want me to be specific about it?
No, because I have too. I think it's like extreme guilt's pretty like intense. Like I had some like really bad experiences.
I think I felt extreme guilt, but I don't think I held on to it.
Oh, I had a situation where I held on to it for like months, and it was pretty bad. Like
I held on to it for years.
Oh snap!
Yeah, it was weird. Weird time in my life.
Was it not intense, or was it like somewhat intense? Mine was like very intense.
I think I was like novically intense. You know, like it was like a star exploded, and you know how like a star, the energy from that star slowly dissipates.
Yeah.
So now I'm at a time where it's like there's no like energy detectable anymore.
Yeah.
But it was such a long downhill process. I was just slowly chipping away, and let me just tell you what it was.
No.
No, because I don't care about it anymore. And it's not like what you think.
Was it just like you stole your brother?
It's a very weird situation, and you have to hear it and understand. Because honestly, I shouldn't have felt guilty about it at all.
Is it like a serious thing, or is it kind of like one of those like weird things, like those dumb things, or like?
It's like a weird and serious thing.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
It's fun. Trust me, it's fine. It's fun to talk about. It's definitely fine.
Okay.
Okay. I'm not gonna name the person. Okay, but when I was in high school, there's a female that I was associated with, and she gave me this number, and I became very close friends with her best friend, and I never met this person though, right? And this said person killed themselves,
Oh,
and I was one of the last people to text them,
yeah.
and I cried like a baby because I felt like I could have saved that person. I felt very strongly that I should have done more to keep this person alive. And that ate me up for a long time. But that person didn't exist.
Didn't exist?
That person never existed. The person that killed themselves was a made up person. And I found that out later.
Wait, so who?
Right?
Okay, but who? So you just mixed it up, kind of?
I didn't mix it up. They tricked me. The person tricked me.
Oh my god, what?
They made me believe that this person was real so that they could
What the fuck?
this person did this so that they could get me to do things or say things. Because the female I was associated with, if I did the math because I was dumb then, but I'm smarter now. If I ate messy one time, right?
Yeah.
In front of this girl, and then the girl that killed herself, allegedly, would text me the next day saying, "Yeah, it's so unattractive when boys eat messy," and stuff like that.
Huh?
It was always her telling me, giving me advice to better my relationship with this female.
Hmm.
And then looking back at it, I kind of caught on. And then I knew that this female that I was associated with had a messaging app on her phone so that she could do that. So I found out it was her. And I typed in her phone number, and it was it was a mess. It was from a different state and shit.
Oh.
So it was obviously not a real phone.
Right.
So I found out, and also this person didn't even mention this in a very important speech of hers about it. So obviously she wasn't real. So I'm under the impression that she wasn't real. And I was texted a suicide note. I was texted the suicide note. And this person who I talked to for 3 months left me a suicide note. No, they didn't. There's no fucking way. And I never seen this in paper.
Okay.
And you know what? This person that I was very close to never went to the funeral. The funeral never got brought up.
Yeah, so it was basically they were messing with your mind.
Yeah, it was definitely, but I thought it was real for a long time.
That's fucked up.
I had extreme, I woke up some nights and crying, just crying. I was wake up crying, thinking that I let this person die.
Right.
And I just felt so guilty about it.
There's a lot of I think high school is the moment where you find all those crazy people.
And I found
it it makes or breaks you, you know?
Yeah, it kind of broke me. It was hard. And even after I found out that she wasn't real, it still fucked with my head for a long time.
Yeah, it's what? Why did that even happen?
Why did she do that? I know she's not real, but it's also I know for 99% fact that she's not real, right? But just 1% fact that she might have been real and I might have let someone die on my hands. And even though I know she's not real, theoretically, could someone really die? Am I not strong enough to keep someone alive? You know what I mean?
Yeah, was it on you?
It's weird. It posed a lot of questions in it really messed with my head for a long time. It took me a long time to come to peace with myself over it.
Yeah. Honestly, it was a good lesson.
Yeah, so you know what I'm saying? It was kind of funny. I was kind of stupid. I was retarded for believing that.
No,
This also female said that she was an international fighter and that she traveled the world fighting. And I also
relate to you.
And she said that she could bench 200 pounds.
Oh my God.
When she was lighter than me.
God damn.
And and the weird part was I believed all this, right? Because I believed in femininity or feminism.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to be oh, you're a liar. My whole thing was I absolutely believed anything she said because I didn't think she would lie to me, and I didn't want to underplay a woman's role or abilities, right? And now, I'm so, anti-feminist because I'm women and men are completely different, and I shouldn't be tricked into believing in anything such. We're two different creatures. There's things women can do that we can't do, and there's things that we can do that women can't do, you know? And I don't think we should just put on this, these glasses that make us look in one color and try to make all people and all different races and ethnicities, and that's the same thing. Races and cultures and countries and all that, and put on these glasses that mold them all together. We're all very unique things and people and ideas.
I see what you mean.
We need to accept that. You know what I mean?
I don't get the idea that we should try to make females like men or men like females, or make them like on an equal.
Yeah, try to like put them at an equilibrium.
I know in a different. I know, but it can like come off the tongue wrong. And then when people try to say that,
yeah,
like me, like what I'm saying there right now, is like they think like they should have like different like rights or something. It's like no, it's not that. It's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
You just can't be a
that's not
guy.
what I mean.
It's like you're not a guy and I'm not a girl. That's like it's basically that's what people jack.
It's absolutely insane.
Like that. That's something completely different. It's like no, like if you're a female or male, you're a female or male. And if you want to talk about like everything is like like social rights and stuff, then that's like a completely different thing.
Yeah,
but
like I understand social rights, but I just think like sometimes they go too far. Like this whole feminist movement.
Well, they did go too far. I mean, we talked about this before. I think. There's like a video. There's a video on them. Talks all about like how feminists did back then. But I think it was the old feminists like basically screwed everything up.
How did they screw everything up?
Well, there's a whole video on that. I'll share it with you.
Yeah, I haven't watched it.
But it's basically they were fighting for like these three things, right? It was like I forgot the word, but these three principles they're fighting for, and then they completely threw it out the window, and then they just did their own thing, and it became chaotic. And so they stirred up. They gave a bad name a bad rep for themselves, basically. And now the new feminists are trying to like fix everything.
Yeah.
Because like even the old ones, like even the old leaders, like oh fuck, like we kind of went like out of hand.
Fucked up.
Yeah. Like what? Cause that's what the main the person who was starting the video, who was explaining everything, was actually a feminist leader. And then she admitted like oh yeah, we did like a lot of damage.
We fucked up.
Yeah, basically.
I think they were pushed too hard because they felt like you needed to, and they're like, all right, well we did what we needed to, and then someone picked up the torch. And they're like, you don't have to pick it up anymore.
I know.
You don't have to pick up that torch. That's the wrong torch. Pick up the other one. No. We like this one.
Yeah.
No, don't pick that torch up. Don't fucking do it. They're like, no, I think I am. Well, fuck. Well, I mean, what's the worst that happened? Start 60 years of gender war? No way. We'll be fine. 20 years later. Men are way superior. Men, he raped me. What do? He hugged me.
You know gender. I don't know where we're going with this, but did you know that the wage gap doesn't exist?
Oh yeah, I know. We talked a little bit on the Locker Room podcast, but people don't realize that like men are way more likely to work overtime. They're more likely to work more hours, and women are less likely to work because
they care about work-life balance more.
Yeah, because they're more inclined to take care of family and things like that. Because even if it's not their children, they'll try to take care of like parents or grandparents or something, or
themselves, or they want to go out more. Right?
And they're more more socially inclined.
Yeah.
Scientifically, like
and then, like statistically, that they've shown.
Statistically, scientifically, they're like people don't incorporate that. Like people just see, oh, that's 72 cents.
Yeah, and the guys go for higher paying jobs as well, and then women.
I'm also not saying there isn't sexist dudes that do pay women less, but it's not on this like grand scale that people are like kind of believed. Because I kind of fell for that a little bit, because that would actually be one of my talking points in support of women. And then I kind of like, you have to, and I think a lot of women have a problem letting go or, what do I say, like, retracting their statement and saying they're wrong. Because that's when we start to be like, okay, you're being a little delusional. I can understand you didn't understand at first, but once you have the information, you shouldn't continue with that thing. Because that's why I love science. Like, you can retract statements. Like, there's been 5 different models of the atom before we got the one we have now.
Right.
Like, and the other ones were slightly wrong, and we accepted that, and we moved on. We made a way better one, right?
Yeah.
So, like, imagine the feminist model if they kept improving it and taking out bad ideas and putting in new ones, constantly improving themselves. That's the difference between like feminism and science and all kinds of ideas. Christianity, that's a big problem with Christianity too. It's just this idea you can't take out bad ideas and replace them with good ones.
Yeah.
Or ones that are more scientifically up to date. Like, so weird we have to like just stick to our guns. Like, that's how it's always been, that's how it always will be. America. It's such a dumb way to look at things.
Yeah, that's what you mean. What was gonna be the main topic of this talk? Just so we don't go off track too much.
It was supposed to be an interview for you. I was supposed to
You did.
delve into your head.
This is not that much of an interview. This is more like.
Well, we ended up just talking.
Yeah.
I try to take a Joe Rogan approach to podcasting.
What was the? Did you only have those questions? The moral dilemmas?
No,
Or-
I had other questions too.
Oh, okay. Let's go on. Let's do that.
Let me ask one of the questions then. All right, you ready?
Mhm.
All right. As a pianist, how much does learning the piano change your day-to-day life? Is it strictly artistic, or do you see that part of you seep into your daily functions? Like, are you more cognitively aware? Are you quicker with your hands now? Like, what's up with how has the piano changed your life?
Yeah, I get it. So it brings like when you go into a practice, it usually brings out like a lot of parts of yourself, you know.
Yeah.
And I noticed with piano, I'm not. I mean, with everything. I'm okay. Everything I'm talking about now, it's relating to this question right now, is going to be relating to the piano.
Yeah.
So I realized that I really hate being humbled. Like it like bothers me so much. Like humbling myself is like extremely hard for me. I just noticed that.
Me too.
Yeah, and I noticed that with, like sight reading. I'm really bad sight reader, right?
What's
Like
that?
reading and playing at the same time.
Oh,
Reading,
okay.
yeah. I'm terrible at it. I'm like awful. Well, I should say this to myself, but like I definitely need improvement, right?
Yeah.
And like I don't know, and most of the time I just don't do it, you know? 'Cause I'm so bad at it. I don't practice it. But if I keep doing that, I'm not gonna get any better, you know? And I just can't accept the fact that I have to be super humbled in that area in order to improve. So like even now, like I still kind of struggle with like just doing it, you know?
Mhm.
Even if I know like need room for improvement in that area, you know?
Yeah.
I'm a super good player. I know,
You're a fucking great player.
and I just can't read music that well, you know?
But that
So-
helps you, right? Being piano has helped you overcome that a little bit.
No, I barely noticed that like recently.
You just noticed that?
I was like, oh crap. Well, like I noticed it, but like I accepted it now, you know? I was
Like,
like,
you
oh,
can notice something for a long time before you actually do anything about it.
yeah.
Like, there's a light out of my car, and it's been like that for 7 months. And it's probably gonna take another 7 before I fix it.
Right?
So basically, that's what you just did. Like, you're like, there's a light broken, but I'm not fixing it.
I know,
Fuck
and
it. Fuck it, I'm leaving it.
it doesn't do anything until it becomes too big of a problem, or
Yeah, no, you let it manifest into this big problem.
or until you finally just like you suck it up and you're like, all right, we're just gonna take care of it now.
We have a small fire in the house, and we're not gonna take care of it until like, it fucking erupts.
Yeah. No, I think it's more of a insect infestation. Like, oh no, it's like just like 2 spiders,
Oh, it's like, yeah, it's 2 spiders.
2
Two
cockroaches,
like that.
nothing, and then
The next
and
month, you got a tarp over your house.
they create like literally like hundreds of generations of their species.
I know, it just cuts to you like with your head chopped off with like giant ants like eating you and shit.
Yeah.
Terminate.
Yeah. So yeah, that's one of the things that I really noticed. That was a big one recently. Cause I noticed with other things too, like typing. When I was typing, which is basically the same thing, like coordination. And I was really bad at it, and I was like, I really like got really frustrated just like typing.
Yeah.
Just imagine this guy just at a keyboard, like fucking like cussing, cussing at his laptop. His monkey just cussing like, like shouting loudly at his laptop. That was basically me for like the past month. And so like I got better at it though. I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm improving. I just I improved a lot.
You think piano's helped you become more self-aware and improve things about you?
Well, that was just one aspect, the humbling part.
Yeah.
Like being aware of that I'm very egotistic and prideful.
Maybe we all are. I mean, you have a hard time
because
admitting
certain things, there are certain things.
Like,
that-
I'm like, I would say 70% aware of my ego, but there's 30% of the times it seeps into my arguments in my day-to-day life.
Yeah, those things that like you really don't pay attention to that much.
And it's hard, and it's hard because there's only certain people I'll let them point it out to me.
Right, because Yeah.
Like, I would let you point
Or
it
you
out
just
to
ignore
me,
it. Or
or
like,
Jasmine. But like, if my dad or like someone I didn't think who was smarter than me told me something, I'd be like, go fuck yourself.
yeah.
Who are you talking to? But
I know.
someone smart, I would be like, oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, I should work on that.
And even when it do tell you, like, you kind of just like ignore it sometimes. I did notice that.
Yeah, you do ignore it. You're like, oh yeah, you're right, dude. I should totally do that. But you actually, it's not enough for you to take action.
Yeah.
It's just the first step.
Yeah.
And you're just being like, oh yeah, you're right. And you're almost like, kind of like, yeah, I think you're wrong, but like, I respect you.
Right.
Until it becomes a big problem, you're like, fuck, he's right.
Yeah. Eventually you have to face the noise. So that's one of them. I also noticed, okay, you're saying helping with day-to-day life, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so another thing that helps with discipline, like just doing it,
Oh, definitely. I would expect that.
Yeah, because I found that I'm pretty good with discipline because I found like a lot of people don't practice their instruments. It's surprising. Like it's actually like a meme,
Yeah.
Like, between musicians. It's like, oh yeah, gotta practice. Like don't practice. I was gonna practice, but I didn't practice for like 5 minutes today. I think that's kind of ridiculous, honestly. Like,
honestly,
I can't
if
even
you love what you do it.
Yeah, I can't.
Obviously,
like,
not on the right. Not
yeah,
on the right thing.
no, exactly. It's like, oh, if you're not practicing, you don't want to do it. That's
Like, I love lifting weights, so I do it all the time. I don't just
right.
go like, I only lifted 5 minutes today. It's like, if you like commit yourself or you don't do it, what's the point of doing it?
Yeah, even with things that kind of slightly discomfort you, like. So yeah, I found that my discipline is like it's pretty well.
Yeah.
And I do apply it to like other things, so it does help me with discipline, like mental, what you call it? Using brain power, basically, like using your mind, visualizing. There you go, visualizing. It really helps with that because basically there's a practice method using your mental practice, whereas you practice your instrument in your head, like you're literally playing in your head, and you fully visualize the keyboard and a song you're playing, or like practice scales and stuff in your mind. It's crazy because I see myself visualizing more clearly every day when I do that.
Yeah. I actually do that a lot too. Even though I don't play an instrument.
Yeah.
I'll do just to put this in real quick. Like sometimes I'll just be there and I'll think of like a song like rhythm, like with a guitar and drum beat. And I've heard so many rock songs now that I can just take different chords and like different drum patterns and I can just like kind of recognize them in my mind and I can create my own patterns in my mind. Like original stuff. I'm not saying I'm like Mozart, but like it's more like a fun thing to do in my head. But it's only if I really commit myself to the moment and I'm usually in the shower.
Right. It's a fully viable like practice method. It's actually I think this is the best one because when you can actually just do it in your head, that's powerful because you can apply it to anything, not just like that one thing you're doing.
Yeah.
You apply it to other things. You apply it to like success. You can like.
Sure, I did that with wrestling.
Yeah, like business.
I was a big visualizer of my matches. I would try to think about it in my mind first.
Yeah.
Even when I wrestled you guys in the pool, I was like thinking about things in my head.
Yeah, I didn't think about it at all. Like I was just like, that's the thing, and you should do. Well, I mean, pick your battles, but like you could use it to things you want to do.
Yeah, because I would analyze the way you guys would fight each other, and then that's how I would approach wrestling you. Like I would notice Eric doesn't go for a lot of legs, so I can get closer and keep my arms up. But with John, I would have to keep a little distance because he's lengthy and he likes to jump for legs. So I needed enough room to be able to push off his head and back up.
Yeah.
And you were wireless, so I couldn't let you get an underhook. Because you'd be really quick.
Oh.
So I was always trying to keep you from getting the underhooks.
Yeah.
That's the kind of shit I did with like jiu-jitsu and wrestling.
Yeah. I was trying to do that, but then like I didn't have like the physical knowledge that you do.
Yeah, but I have a physical knowledge. Like I have a background with that stuff, so it's different.
Yeah, and I was like, I could do like music or like things that I know too,
Like I'm sure you could do that with chess or something. Like I have a hard time visualizing chess.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty visual in video games. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, like certain video games, but if I'm not good at the video game, I have a hard time visualizing it. It's only things I'm pretty good at. I start to like build this visual image. I'm sure that's with a lot of things though.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, that's another thing that piano helps me with the visualizing aspect of things. Also, I would say creativity, like allowing your creative juices to flow through you. Like actually like all right, like giving yourself like these things, right? These like tools and these resources, and then doing something with them, even if they're like. And sometimes restricting yourself, giving yourself like certain limitations or like doing things a certain way and be like, all right, let me try to work something with this. So creativity definitely is a big one, especially like composing, right? Like when I'm or improvising. Like I've been improvising more, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get these chords and do like have this idea, and then like just do like a song with it, and I do it. It's like it's pretty cool. I like it.
Yeah, I definitely think freestyling helps me a lot with my artistic things too. Because it's not good to do it all the time, but it's great to get the brain flowing and think of interesting things. Because you can think of cool things in the moment.
Right, not just freestyling as well as composing, like actually trying to do some big thing, I was like, alright, I'm actually gonna be serious, like do like a structure, like a work, with these certain rules, or these like an idea, like take one idea, make it like expand it like exponentially, so it becomes like this big orchestra. Like that's what composers do. They take an idea and they make it like this big thing, from like a simple idea. So I'm practicing that. So yeah, creativity is another one. You want to ask something before I move on to like another one?
You have another aspect that.
Yeah. Be more in tune with like myself. Yeah, I notice a lot of things, so I'll probably have like this is like another. Just giving you like the big ones. So yeah, be more in tune with like my own inner resources and like how I express things, because like piano is like a very like it's like a ebb and flow.
Yeah.
And it's very easy to not like to lose that flow. I've noticed because like there's like this. It's basically like think about exercising, right?
Yeah.
Think about how hard it is to like exercise when you're not in tune with like, your own body. Like say like when you're repping, right?
I know exactly what you mean.
Like breathing, like you're supposed to breathe out like in the hardest, most difficult part. Yeah. Like imagine not doing that. Imagine how hard it would be to work out.
When you're out of sync, like sometimes you forget to activate a certain muscle. Like when the bench press, I gotta lock my back, my shoulders. I gotta arch my back, but keep my butt on the thing. And if like one thing's out of line, I'm not gonna lift as much as I know I can.
Yeah, and you could screw yourself. I mean, in that situation, you could really screw
yourself. And I can hurt myself,
Yeah. So like that aspect. That's another aspect I learned from piano is like being more in tune with yourself so you don't screw things up, and you're more fluid, you do things more smoothly. And I can apply that to other things in life. Like and breathing is like a really important thing. Like people forget to breathe properly. Like we need to teach that in school, like how to breathe properly. I think.
Yeah, that's not really I mean, it is if you do sports. They definitely teach you that.
Oh.
I learned that a lot through like Muay Thai and stuff. They like breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth, shit like that. Don't overextend your breath. Don't breathe in too fast. Like kind of keep a pace. You learn that stuff from sports, but I think they should teach that for like, because there's a different type of breathing for different types of things.
Yeah.
Like there's a certain way to breathe for like tests and shit. I just do the anxiety thing, anxiety breathing.
Yeah, like for meditation, it's like different. You need to take your breath. You can't for meditation. You're supposed to take like really deep breaths and also slow breaths and like quiet breaths. That's the most important. But like you should not be able to hear the sound of your own breath when you meditate because it distracts you.
That's impressive.
Yeah. Is it? I mean, you just gotta do it. I mean, it's like,
I'm just never.
Oh, dude, you are such a good breather. Holy crap! I can't believe you can breathe. That's funny that we could like compliment that. That's pretty.
It's like, dude, you're so good at breathing, dude.
I wish I could breathe like you.
Dude, one day I want to breathe like you did.
Actually, it is impressive, like for like swimmers though.
It is impressive, honestly.
I can't
do that.
I know, like you're underwater. I see someone underwater for 2 minutes swimming, like actually doing something. Though. It's not like they're sitting still. Like they're literally like just swimming.
But they breathe while they're swimming, right? Like they move their head side to side.
No, like underwater. I'm talking about like underwater.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
like,
that's hard as shit. Me and John and I we used to do that all the time when we were kids.
That's hard. Yeah,
we had to swim underneath. I don't know why we did it underneath the pool, but we'd always did it underneath the pool because my cousin Jarrett has like a retardedly great lung capacity. So like he could go like 3 times back and forth, and like we'd always like try to keep up with him, but it was so hard because I always had asthma and allergies and stuff, so I always had lung problems. But I'm not saying that's an excuse, but it's an excuse. But yeah, I got another question for you.
All right.
You have talked about moving to Vegas, so how about you tell everyone about your mindset around that and how you have so well prepared yourself for this scenario?
For that situation.
Yeah, for that situation.
Okay, so it's like I'm not giving this. There's more like a general like. So my process for this like for like you know like I don't like being scared of anything, you know.
Yeah.
Like I don't let myself be scared of anything. I'm like dude, why am I scared? This is BS. I'm not gonna let myself be like because it's a choice, right?
Yeah.
Like you can either choose to stay like terrified of like this one thing that really isn't like that big of a deal, or you could do something about it. And I choose to do something about it. And then like that Vegas thing, it was like I was giving myself a situation like if I were to be kicked out of a house for any reason, like I know it was like a big fear of mine, right? I don't know why.
Yeah.
I was like if I was to get kicked out of something, like I always have a backup plan. It was like kind of like a backup plan. It was like a contingency plan. Like oh yeah, if my worst case scenarios happen, the things like that kind of make me anxious. I'm just gonna have a contingency plan for them, so I just don't care about them anymore. So that's what I did like with the Vegas thing. It's like if this thing like ever for some reason if this thing ever happened, I'll just have a contingency plan. And I wouldn't be scared with people, you know, and no one will have control over me. No, like I would have more power over what I do in day-to-day life and like what people say to me and stuff. You know,
Yeah.
I want to be scared of people.
It's such a crazy mindset to have. Like, I don't try to be scared of things, but like I can see I can always think of like the negative possibilities of something.
Yeah.
But you don't let that affect you at all. Like
Yeah.
you there's negative consequences for anything, and anything can go wrong. But the more well prepared you are,
Yeah. And I usually have to do like a lot of things, but like things that just bother you like the most, I think it's best to just if they bother you that much, just have a contingency plan. Like oh yeah, what if literally the worst thing happened? Like just have a plan for it. And you
that's a lot of people's problems.
Yeah.
Like they won't do it just because they know that what the worst thing can happen, so they just don't want that to happen. But a lot of people don't just prepare for the worst thing to happen.
And then they want to think about it. Yeah, basically, just like
they're like, well, if the worst thing can't happen, then I want to do it because it probably will happen. It's like, okay, not saying you don't know that for a guarantee. First off, and second off, you don't think you could overcome the worst thing possible. You don't think you could have like a plan set up or anything. It's like, oh well, if that didn't work, I could do this. Like people don't want to think that far. Like they'll have a plan A, but then B is like too extreme. Like that's too far. It's like, yeah, I got a plan A, but plan B, I don't know, man. I can't.
I know. Plan B. And then, yeah, but it's important to add that as well, though. You shouldn't strive for your plan B to come up, right? Yeah. Like, you shouldn't make it so your plan B actually has to be, like, you go for plan B. You should always go for plan A. Like, do the things that that are your highest values, right?
Yeah.
But if in case plan B happened, you have, like, a backup plan. But don't focus on, like, trying to make your backup plan activate, That's what a lot of people do. It's like I'm telling this to finance now. Is in finance, a lot of people save for a rainy day, right? Like, oh, if something happens, I have money for it. But the thing is, like, when you only have that, when you keep that in mind, like, oh no, I'm having this money for if something happens, when something happens. That's what people think. Like, oh yeah, when something happens, I have the money for it. If you do it for when something happens, then it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But so that's why you should do it for another reason. Like have the money, like it's good to have like quote unquote emergency savings, but it's for like a higher purpose. But you should have it for the purpose of like giving you peace of mind, not for the purpose of when it happens. I don't know if I
yeah, I know what you're saying. Like that makes sense. That makes complete sense to me.
Yeah, so I don't do it for like when it happens. I do it for just to give myself peace of mind.
Yeah, but that would be great for a lot of people to try. I feel like more people would be willing to like do big, like going to Vegas, leaving your parents' house, going to Vegas to become an artist in some fashion is such a big commitment. And whatever little things that you can do to make yourself more likely to do it is fucking impressive to me.
Yeah. And that's just one of